Perfect.
Alrighty, welcome. My name is Colonel Denny Peebles. I'm the Senior Aerospace Science Instructor for Arizona 2006-3 PrescottJROTC. Today, I'm dressed up like a normal high school teacher because I want to talk about normal high school stuff. This is not necessarily peculiar to junior ROTC. This is peculiar to y'all's life as high school students. I want to introduce a concept that I have invented, called a Christmas senior. Does anybody know what a Christmas senior is? It's not on Wikipedia yet, but it will be. Yes, what's a Christmas senior?
Isn't it like when a senior doesn't prepare for college until Christmas?
That is a perfect answer, yes. It's not on Wikipedia, like I said. But I invented this a few years ago, about 8 years ago when I started teaching. And at this exact time, this is around December, I will have seniors come up to me and go, "Sir, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know what? The college won't accept me. I haven't taken my ACT test. The military, says I don't have the good ASVAB scores. Or you know what? I'm not going to graduate in May. I don't have enough credits." It is the person who did not plan properly for their life. And by the time their senior year, they realize that in 5 months, like in May, they're graduating and gone. All the free education in their life is over. They're going to have to pay for everything else. And they have a nice wake up and smell the roses experience. So I don't want anybody in here to be a Christmas senior by Colonel Peoples' definition. And what I'm going to do is basically go over here in the next 30 minutes, a roadmap from middle school to senior and high school of how you can avoid being a Christmas senior. This applies, I have freshman to senior in this class, and my son is actually a 7th grader, so he is hearing this all the way. Some of you guys may listen to this, some of you guys, everybody here should learn something. And I want you to interrupt me and ask questions if it doesn't make sense of what I'm talking about. Here, we'll start at 8th grade, middle school. How about middle school? The big picture in middle school for preparing yourself for a life after high school is to figure out what you like and don't like. Do you like math? Do you like science? Do you like history? Do you like PE? You don't like band? You do like band? These are big picture questions. And again, I like to relate a lot of this stuff to myself. In middle school, I really did like chorus. Believe it or not, I sang. And I really did like math. Those are the two things I really liked. And also, I really liked sports. I was in basketball. When I was in middle school, I was about 5'10 or 5'11. I was the biggest guy in the whole class. And of course, I went to a big middle school. So when I was in middle school, I was quite convinced that I was going to be a professional basketball player, as silly as that sounds. And of course, if you talk to a lot of my freshmen here in high school, I bet you a handful of them will say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be a professional football, baseball, basketball player." And that's not an abnormal dream or goal. In middle school, you're developing your organizational skills, you're developing your people skills, meaning you've got to turn in your work. You got to take your classes. You got to be organized and know that I have a test on Friday, so I need to study on Wednesday, Thursday. When I say people skills, you also are developing, learning how to talk to different people than the ones you're used to being around. You're kind of getting into socially awkward situations, talking to guys or girls or teachers that you may like or not like. And this goal, these skills follow you your entire life. How many, talking to high school students, how many people here have loved every teacher they've ever had in high school? You've loved, great on you, 1 out of 22. Okay, 5%. Bottom line is when you get off into life after high school, you will not love every person you work with and every boss you have. I do tell the story that when I started the ROTC 8 years ago at Prescott High School, there were about 92 teachers. I was surprised to find out that 8 of them really did not like me. I won't use the word hate, but they did not like the military. They did not want me in ROTC, starting the ROTC here. There were 8 of them. And after 8 years, there's now 2. Okay, I worked hard to overcome that. I met those people. I really targeted them to get to know them better and, let them know what I'm like. The fact that I'm not recruiting here in ROTC, I'm trying to develop citizenship and future successful people in America. And so after those years, it happens. So if it happens at 50, it can certainly happen in teenager years. In middle school, a secret. If you have an idea that you want to go to college in middle school, I really think you should take the ACT or SAT. That sounds ridiculous. You guys are going, what are you talking about? You're crazy. You're not going to pass it. You're not going to do fantastic. But you'll be very nervous to show up as an 8th grader to come to a big high school and take the SAT, ACT. The reason I say please take it, it costs $35, but it does not count against you. You can take it for free. So as a middle school kid, and I'm practicing what I preach, I've made my personal kids do all this. You can go as a 7th or 8th grader to a high school and take an SAT, ACT, and it not count against you. What it does show you is, are you good in math or are you good in English? And also, for the kid that may be college bound, may be making good grades in middle school, kind of confident, feeling pretty good, guess what? It shows them that the game is on in high school, and all of a sudden these 100 ACT words that I've been trying to get you guys to study, it means something, and you're going to have to learn a lot. Okay? So I challenge, tell your friends, tell your brothers and sisters that in middle school, if you think you're college bound, take the ACT, SAT. It's a fact. Okay, you get here as a 9th grader. We have 9th graders right here. The job in high school is to explore your interest and figure out whether or not you think you like it in middle school. I think that I'm going to be a professional athlete in middle school. What I have to say? Please be quiet. That in middle school, I think I'm going to be a professional athlete, and so guess what? I explore that in high school, and all of a sudden, yes, I'm 5'10", 5'11", but guess what? God threw me a curveball, and I stopped growing. Also, my best buddies who were this tall in middle school became this tall, and they're taller than me. Okay? And it kind of humbled me. And so in high school, I thought I was going to be a professional athlete. I didn't get much better in basketball. Yes, I could almost jam the ball, but I didn't ever do a slam dunk from from the foul line like Michael Jordan. And so guess what? My interest in math started to increase. And I started to take the toughest classes and try to make the best grades. In middle school, when you apply to, what's the auto school down in Phoenix that a lot of the kids go here? The auto tech school that Mr. Cheney sends. There's an automobile technical school down in Phoenix. When you go there and apply, do people care about your middle school grades? No. Do they care about your high school grades? Yeah. 100%. I mean, every grade you make in high school counts the rest of your life. You can't erase it. Oh, you know what? I made 3 Fs because my mother and daddy got a divorce and my dad lost my job. Do you think they really care about that when you fly to the University of Arizona? They may have an explanation, but you know what? We got 7 other people here who went through divorces, went through homelessness, went through job losses. I'm sorry. Colonel Kemper, right? Colonel Kemper, my partner here at ROTC, had both his mom and dad die when he was 9. And he got sent to an uncle that was not an ideal situation. So he went through as horrible a childhood as possible. He graduated from high school. He went to college. He's not complaining. You know, you can succeed or not. So my point is, in high school, your job is to figure out what you want to explore. If you're interested in doing band after high school, what should you be taking in high school? Band. If you're interested in thank you. If you're interested in government service or military, what might you want to be taking in this high school? Student council, junior ROTC, art, English, science, chemistry, biology. We have JTED. We have career and technical educations here. If you want, they have nursing. They have aviation. Those are the type of things you need to be exploring in high school to see what you like. Once you get into 10th grade, how many 10th graders? How many sophomores do we have here? A few? Yep. You need to get more specific on your ideas of what you want to do. After your freshman year, if you're failing every English course and you hate English, guess what? You probably don't want to be an English major. But you may like working with your hands. You may like, again, working, we had wood shop here, welding. I've had quite a few kids go into welding worlds or automobile worlds, or if you love biology, usually you take biology in high school. If you love biology, you love chemistry, then maybe you're interested in a science, technology, type of degree. You need to get specific in your 10th grade, and at that point, I kind of say 10th grade is when you decide whether or not you want to go to college. If you want to go to college, then there's kind of a different path if you don't want to go to college. Because when you go to college free.
No.
Well, it does cost money, but when we get down to 12th grade, I can tell you how it can be free for you. I mean, an exact example is that when you get into 10th grade, you kind of need to decide, do I have the drive? Do I have a specific interest? Do I want to spend the money? Do you want to go to college and spend money and not have an interest? Because you're going to blow the money, get the wrong degree, and it might hurt you. You're going to be in debt for a degree or an interest that doesn't interest you. So in 10th grade, you need to start studying for the college test. Sophomores here, if you're interested in college, you're going to laugh, but I think for Christmas, your sophomore year, you need to get college prep books or programs and start studying. Start studying for college tests now in your sophomore year. And you're going, gee, that's really crazy. I just got into high school. I'm a sophomore. I'm starting to play on the basketball team. Why am I saying this? Because in your junior year, you're going to start taking the college test, your second semester, junior year. Ideally, January to March, your junior year, you need to start taking your college test. SAT, ACT. Yes, sir. Question.
Where would you get college level books?
Perfect question. Your library, okay? Amazon.com, used books. I think they're less than $10 or $7 or $8, okay? SAT, ACT, those are the two college-bound tests, and they're exactly equal. Okay, I say this from 8 years of experience. I've sent about a dozen to 15 kids to college each year from colleges, every college in Arizona, of course, but other colleges. I've sent kids to Stanford, quite a few, UCLA, USC, Kevin Spillman is at USC right now, New Orleans, Texas A&M, of course, all the academies. We have junior ROTC alumni right now at West Point, the Air Force Academy graduates, Naval Academy, we have kids applying, Naval Academy. Coast Guard, Tyler is down in Galveston at the Coast Guard, Texas A&M. Ivy League, okay, we have alumni from junior ROTC applying to Ivy League schools this year. We have kids in Ivy League schools. So anyway, I'm just saying the game is on your sophomore year for college. The game is on. You can't just hang out. If you hang out, you're going to show up and be a Christmas senior and go, gee, matter of fact, I have one. Not one of you, but one of my non-ROTC people that I recommend came yesterday. Golly, what day is today? Today is
17th.
Today's Tuesday. Okay, last Friday, I had a phone call from a parent. Sir, my son wants to go to the Air Force Academy. Great. I'm thinking the kid's a sophomore, junior. Well, what year is he? Oh, he's a senior, sir. Oh. Well, what did he make on the ACT? Oh, he hasn't taken the ACT yet. Okay? I said, sorry, your kid has chosen not to make himself competitive for college. The game is over. He can't even apply. Oh, but he's really smart. He's a great football player. Great. But you know what? He's about a year and a half behind the 20 other students who are applying for the one slot. Okay? Top level schools in America, it's about 20 to 1. 15 to 21. Depends on which one you want to go to. But anyway, my goodness, he is a Christmas senior by definition. He's showing up a senior year. Hey, I'd like to go to the Air Force Academy. Sorry, you don't even qualify because you're not motivated to look ahead and be in the future. Do you want the future leaders of America not to be able to plan ahead? I mean, come on. Who are they going to give money to for colleges? The kids who applies last minute, or the kids that has their act together and been planning this their whole life?
The latter.
I'm telling you. And about college, yes, colleges cost a lot of money. But an exact example. Anybody heard of a college called Princeton?
Yes.
Okay, this is a rich Ivy League school. It's called top tier in America. Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Stanford. Top tier schools in America. I went there and did a tour with my son. And we're sitting in Princeton. And these are schools that are made out of stones. And they look like European buildings, okay? And they're so old, how old are they? That you're sitting underneath a picture of George Washington at Princeton. And why? Because George Washington attacked Princeton and shelled it during the Revolutionary War. Yes, that's how old Princeton is. And we're sitting there, and the person comes in and goes, okay, guys, talking to a lot of motivated, smart people. I want you to know the first question out of every parent's mouth is, Princeton is very expensive. I can't quote the number, but I think it was $56,000 for 1 year. $56,000. Times 4, we're talking $250,000 to get a college degree. Okay? And he goes, and this is the first thing he says, $56,000. He goes, but our financial package, the average financial package last year was $38,000. What does he mean by a financial package? So if you take 56 minus 38, the difference is about $18,000. Yes, college is expensive, but if you plan ahead, college can be cheap. And I look at my son Luke and I go, how much does it cost to go to University of Arizona? 16, 18,000? For $18,000, you want to go to Princeton or you want to go to University of Arizona?
Princeton, sir.
Think about the numbers, okay? If you plan ahead, college is expensive, but you can get scholarships, you can get financial packages to allow people to go anywhere in America if you qualify. Okay, back to sophomore year. So sophomore, for your Christmas present, wouldn't y'all love to meet my kids at home? Yeah, Cassidy, you get a sophomore Christmas present, a college study book. I did give that to her. I'm just joking. All right, and my suggestion, you go, Cassidy, your dad's so nice. All right, if you're a book type person, go get off of Amazon.com a book. Go get it from the used bookstore. They're right downtown at the used bookstore for $10, $5. And open it up and they have 15 practice exams. There is no difference in the ACT, SAT. Both of them get you into college. They're exactly equal. So my suggestion for sophomores is to study both of them. Figure out what you like. And then when you're a junior and it's your second semester, you're taking both tests if you can afford it. It's $35 or so a test. You take both, see which one you do the best on, and you continue to take it. I don't have enough money to take college tests, but I want to go to college. If you're on free and reduced lunch, you take them for free. I mean, you can take these things for free. America lets you go to college. The person who is not educated goes, oh, college is too expensive. I'll never be able to afford that. That's really horrible. Guys, my family in 1978 was lower middle class. Average middle class, lower middle class. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't poor. But I was middle class. And guess what? My parents, the day I graduated from high school, how much money do you think my family had saved for me for college the day I graduated? My family did not have one savings account with one penny in it the day I graduated from high school. So guess what? I paid for my entire college by myself. It was cheaper then, and I did have an ROTC scholarship, and I did work as a waiter, and a busboy, and a toilet cleaner, and a bartender for about 4 years, and I paid for it. I got through college with no debt. You guys can do that too if you plan in advance. All righty, 11th grade. How many juniors do we have here? We have a handful of juniors. Half the class is juniors. Here is the deal. You have already decided by junior year, do I want to check out college, or do I want to go do something else? Do I want to go in the Army? Do I want to go into welding? Somebody here want to do welding? Do I want to go do auto mechanics? Do I want to do, we have 2 or 3 very, very successful beauticians and tattoo artists. We have 2 alumni who are fabulous tattoo artists from here. So if I want to do those things, guess what? You've already sort of know what you want. 11th grade year, you need to probably start working in those trades to see if you like it. I had one cadet about 2 years ago, who was going to be a tattoo artist, and she's an artist. She was fantastic, but she wanted to be a tattoo artist. And guess what? Her 11th year grade, she went and started to volunteer at a tattoo parlor, which we have here in town. And actually, we have some alumni parents that still own it. And guess what she found out?
She didn't like it.
She didn't like it. It was gross. Sir, did you know the needle goes in and out 20 times a second, or whatever it was? Did you know that people scream sometime when they do the tattoo? No, I didn't. I haven't worked. Well, guess what? She was an incredible artist, but it was not her thing. Okay? In ROTC here, we require community service. Over 200 cadets in our ROTC. I bet that about a quarter, 25% of my cadets do something in these years that affect their life plans. Volunteer at the VA. Gee, I really like volunteering at the VA. I like working with older people. Volunteering at the school, the hospital right here next to us. Volunteering at a soup kitchen. Gee, sir, do you know those veterans, those poor people really need some help? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Or volunteering in the National Forest. I had 2 kids that want to work for the National Forest because during the summer they volunteered clearing paths, helping out the National Forest. So my point is, you've already got your grades cranking, your act together. By junior year, how old are you junior year? How old are the juniors? 16. Guess what? You can legally go work somewhere, right? You can legally volunteer in your profession. I want to be a business owner. Go work at the Yogarts. Go work at Subway and say, gee, wouldn't it be great be my own business owner, own a Subway? How much does the manager of Subway work?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, he works a lot.
That's right. Does it make a lot of money? Yeah, they make a lot of money. Can you see yourself supporting a family on what these wages is? So I'm suggesting your junior year, if the game is on here in high school, the junior year you're trying to get focused in on what you want to do. If you're interested in college, guess what? You're taking the hard classes. The hardest classes you can take. AP, ideally, or honors, or we have a lot of high school students taking college classes their junior year. Go to Yavapai College. You cannot take them for free, but I think it's $68 an hour, so it's about $200 for one class, and see if you can handle the college scene. Christmas. The Christmas present in my family for the adults from the students for Christmas, their junior year, is to tell me what 5 schools, 5 colleges do they like outside of the state. Because you got to have a favorite state school. I'm an ASU. My wife went to ASU, University of Arizona. We have quite a few of our alumni up at NAU, some of our commanders. You're going to know an in-state school. But I'm telling you to dream big. Get out of Arizona, get online, find something that you like, and you might want to go. We have artists that are applying to schools in New York, California, and those 5 schools identified as a junior. Then you talk to your parents. Hey, for my birthday present, I want to go to the University of New Mexico. We have kids at the University of Mexico. I want to go to the Air Force Academy. Let's go do a trip, visit this summer, and see what you like and don't like. It was the best family trip my family has ever been, to go to the West Coast and see some of the colleges that my kids thought they liked, and they showed up at the colleges and they hated it. Because, you know what, stuff looks a lot better online than showing up and not liking. And you know, why do you like colleges? Why do you like high schools? Why do you like people? It's all individual, right? I'll tell you, I mean, one of my Luke, my son Luke, who's now in school on the East Coast, he swore, I thought that Duke University, which is an East Coast school, would be a great one for you to apply to. You know why I didn't apply to that? Dad, I can't apply to that. Duke, why? I think it's a good school. It's hard, it's fun, it's not too expensive. You can get scholarships. I don't like it. I'm not going to apply there. Why? because it rhymes with my name. Okay, well, you know what? As a dad, what are you going to say?
Too bad.
Too bad. No. So you may. My daughter went to one school in California, and she goes, "Oh, I thought it was to be a great school. I'm not going to mention it. Oh, it's great. Cassidy, why don't you like the school?" I don't know. Everybody looks too serious. They're not having fun. Well, you know what? You want to go to a place, you have fun. That's it. You know, military guys, in your junior year, if you're interested in some kind of military, you need to be taking the ASVAB, right, which is the military test. It's a career test, and it's a weird test. It says, do you like painting, or do you like doing a garden? Do you like working on cars, or do you like working as a team? Do you like to work individual to solve a problem, or do you like to be in charge of a team? And it's a weird question, but it comes up at the end, and will say, people like you would be great cooks, or you would be great painters, or you'd be great working on cars, and you would not like to be in charge of a school, or you would like to be in charge of a team going to do a project at night, or you like to work in the daytime. This is what the ASVAB is, and it's a great thing. You need to be worrying about this your junior year. How do you pick what you're going to do after school and where you're going to do it? That's a good question. How do you pick the college? If you're college bound, how do you pick the college? Give me a question. Yes, sir.
Explore, not explore, but like explore the college.
Explore the college and see whether or not it rhymes with your name, or whether or not you like the people there. Okay, that's good. One of the techniques that I've done, this is Colonel Peoples' techniques, and I ask you guys generally behind closed doors, if you're interested in college, you come see me. The first question I say is, do you want to stay near mommy, daddy? Do you want to leave mommy, daddy? This is another question which those of you who are not want to go to college need to think about. I want to go to beautician school. Well, that's great. But first question is, do you want to stay near mommy, daddy? Do you want to leave mommy, daddy? My general suggestion for everybody, of course this is not perfect suggestion, is my general suggestion, you've heard my speech, is that in general, when you're 18 years old,
Parents going to kick you out.
and your parents are going to kick you out. No, my general suggestion is that everybody in this room needs to leave mommy, daddy, unless there's some other overriding issues at home which you would know. Are you pregnant? Are you married? Is mommy, daddy dying of cancer and they need you? Are you financially need to work to support your family? Those are unusual situations that don't apply to everybody. But in general, I would suggest that everybody here needs to get away from mommy, daddy, and go see your world. It's a rare time between age 18 to 22 to 25 that you can do this and you don't have 3 kids that you need to support. Okay? That is my suggestion. And again, I have lived this. I left my family when I was in high school. I had a choice to go to the Air Force Academy, Colorado versus South Carolina where I grew up, or any other college. I chose not to go to the Air Force Academy because it was 2,000 miles away from my family. And it was just too far for me. And I'd never seen it. This is before the internet. I didn't even know what it looked like. I was writing letters to these people, okay? I mean, imagine not even knowing what these colleges look like. So I chose to go to Georgia Institute of Technology, Georgia Tech, in Atlanta, Georgia. It was about 200 miles away, like going from here down to Tucson. About 3 or 4 hours away. And it was the right decision for me at the time. It was away from mommy, daddy. But what happened, and again, I'm a spiritual guy, I think everything works out for the best. My family, I had 3 major deaths in my family during college. My dad died unexpectedly, and both my grandparents who I was very close to. So for me, what if I was 2,000 miles away when all this turmoil in my family happened? I might not have made it, right? So everything worked out for me. So the first question about after high school, whether it's military, whether it's college, whether it's VOTEC, is do you want to stay near mommy, close or far from mommy, daddy? The next question is do you want to go to something big or small?
Big.
Do you want to be the small fish in the big pond? Or do you want to be the big fish in the small pond? Here in Arizona, we have Arizona State University, which has 70,000+ students, right? It is the definition of big. What do you get at a big college?
Big people.
Big people.
More classes?
More classes, more opportunity. You can take Chinese, you can take business, you can take English, you can take engineering, 14 different types of engineering. You can do anything you want at Arizona State University. It also has big sports, right? University of Arizona's got the top basketball team in the nation. Isn't it exciting and fun to go to that? I mean, by the way, as students, you realize you go for free. It's fun. Imagine you want to go to a university that has a stadium that has 70,000 seats. That's pretty fun. University of Southern California, University of South Carolina, Florida. Or do you want to go to a college that is as big as our high school? Okay, 1,200 students. The majority of the colleges in America are like that, you guys realize, in the East Coast. Very dense. Yavapai College. In South Carolina, where I'm from, there are over 40 four-year schools. 40. But a lot of them have 2,000 kids because there are the Methodist school or the Baptist school or the non-religious school or the coastal college or the city college. So if you want to go to a school where there's 1,200 kids and you know everybody, those are different types of schools. Money. In your junior year, you need to start thinking, money. How are you going to pay for stuff? Okay? How are you? Jobs. Well, here's the point. I have that exact situation working as one of your ROTC people. In my junior year, I'm watching all y'all's grades. Bob, how come your grades went from A's to C's? Well, Colonel, I had to get a job. Why do you have a job? Well, I got to start paying for college. I got to pay for my college, and I got to get a job because I have a car. Okay, so you're letting your grades go from A's to C's because of your job. My next question usually is, are your mom and dad, having a tough time, and do you have to pay for food in your house? And occasionally that is the case, and God bless them. That's a tough situation. But if they're getting a job to save money for college and their grades go down, you're losing money because your senior year to get into college, be better on your ACT, SAT test, the more money you get. Yes, ma'am. Okay. An exact example is Embry-Riddle, right near here. For going to Embry-Riddle, it costs about $30,000 for the non-flyers. For the flyers, it costs about $45,000, I think. Don't quote me; it's in the ballpark. But the bottom line is, I know the admissions officer, and he says, yes, if somebody makes 25 on ACT, that is just really great. We'll give them $5,000. But if they make 28, I'll give them 10 per year. 34. If they make 30 or 32, we'll give them $25,000 per year.
Oh, I see where it's going.
So if you study and you do better on the ACT, you're going to get more money in college than you would ever be able to save in a job. Ever. Prove to me, guys. It's not going to happen. Yes, ma'am.
How many times can you take the ACT?
Great question. Your junior year, you start taking it January to March, and you take it. The question is, how many times? Usually 6 is the most. The average person applying to out-of-state schools or top-tier schools take it 4 to 5 times. January, March, May, September, October, game's over. The first time you take a college test to the last time, you can increase it about 20% is the most I've ever seen. So if you make a 25 on the ACT, which is good, you could possibly get up to 30. But you got to study. And oh, by the way, you should be studying since you're a sophomore. If you blow it off because you're so cocky and you make straight A's, like some of you guys make straight A's, oh, I'm so good, it's no big deal, I'll take the test. Boom, 22 on the ACT. That's not going to get you much money at Embry-Riddle. You got to study, guys. You got to study. Okay, so junior year, January to March, you start taking the test. 1 May, your junior year, college begins. The applications to college begin 1 May your junior year. Because what happens 1 May your senior year? You have to be accepted by then. The game's over. The game is over 1 May your junior year. These are broad general statements. Of course, there are exceptions. But everybody is accepted by 1 May your senior year. The game is over. And immediately, the game begins for juniors. So what should you be doing between your junior and senior summer? What should you be doing?
Getting good grades and studying for SATs.
And applying to colleges. You better believe it. Because is anybody here a senior? We have a couple seniors. Your senior year, your first semester, things get really busy. Okay? You may have a job. You may be taking your hard tests. And your senior year, you should be taking, like you were saying, your third or fourth college test by 1 December. Your applications are kind of over. Your applications are over by 1 January, your senior year in general. And oh, by the way, does anybody know what FAFSA is?
FAFSA.
FAF. Look down here. FAF. SA. Federal Application for Student Aid. You cannot apply to college unless you tell them how much you and your family make and earn, and that way it gets you free money for college. If you do not put in your FAFSA application, you cannot get free money for college. Remember I told you at the beginning of this, you don't have to go to college and pay it all. You can get scholarships, you can get federal aid. If you're in a divorce situation, that is horrible. I'm sorry. But you know what I really want you to do is make sure the person who's making the least amount of money claims you on their 1040 as a dependent. You want your mother, who is unemployed, to have you on her 1040 as a dependent so that when you turn in your financial money, it looks like you don't have any money. And guess what will happen in America? You get money. You get federal aid because you don't have any money to go to college. And you can go for free. I have 2 minutes. Yes.
If right now I'm in foster care and they
You're good to go. You will go to college for free. Okay? Go to FAFSA, type in foster care, you're good to go. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up here. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my website, PrescottJROTC.com. Thank you for your support.